All right, here we go again. Let's analyze this together again. Come on. I mean, for real. We got to analyze this because this is very important.
Well, it's been rough. It was not what I was expecting at all, considering some of the rhetoric he has said. I thought we as a nation were smarter, but I guess not. To my transgender and friends and, the people who it affects, as long as you stay alive, they cannot say we don't exist. Being a Satanist means rebelling against them because they're wrong. And as long as you draw a breath, every breath you take is a rebellion. Keep on fighting because you just have to. Hail Satan, hail reason always.
Okay, now, dude, okay, so, oh my God, okay, well, first of all, I thought it was interesting, she says, keep fighting. I don't know if any of you pay attention to my videos in the last week, but I was pointing out that that's the ongoing message. When you look all over the internet, it's all about fighting, keep fighting, we must keep fighting, and I did that shit about we must keep fighting, and I was showing how every fucking video on BitChute is all the same, we must keep fighting, like every single trendy fucking thing is what is spewing out of this fucking retard's mouth. We must keep fighting, and like, dude, this is how, look, like, check it out. If I were somehow able to redeem myself from what this fucking psycho witch did to me, this would be my psycho ex's response and all of her friends' response too. They would be like, well, I don't really understand how this happened, because he was not really very good. That's like, look, I'm gonna break this all down. This is exactly how, okay, like all of my psycho ex's witch friends, this is how they kept feeding her. So they were, and I saw this because I was in my ex-girlfriend's Facebook account because she left it open when I got back from Denver. So on the first day I got back from Denver, all this shit's going on. After a couple hours, when I'm finally settling in, I open up the laptop and it's logged into her Facebook. So her Facebook was logged in. So I started looking at her Facebook and all these posts and all these interactions with all these people that I didn't even know any of them. And they're all these dumb satanic witches like this stupid motherfucker. And they're all saying all this shit to her of how she needs to fight me and I'm this big bad wolf. And as long as she's a Satanist and as long as everything because we're right. And like all this same dumb rhetoric. And that was what they were all feeding all of this to her to encourage her to, and none of them even knew and never even met me or know anything about me. So I want to break this down. Like when you look at this, like what does she say?
Well, it's been rough.
It's been rough.
It was not what I was expecting.
Right. So this is how it would all start. Like if I were to get retribution and fucking hand my psycho ex, her ass on a platter, this would be her and all her friends' response. They'd be confused, like, well, this isn't really what I was expecting, And the whole thing, like every single
at
thing.
All,
at
considering all. Some of the rhetoric he has said.
Considering some of the rhetoric this is all the shit that these fucking witches are telling my psycho ex. Like, well, all these things he's saying, he's really not right because they're all just fueling and fanning this fire all behind my back. Like none of them even know me, and they're having these discussions with her on Facebook about me, somebody they don't even know, and they're saying all this same dumb shit. Okay.
I thought we as a nation were smarter, but I guess not.
I guess not.
To my transgender and friends and, you know, the people who it affects, as long as you stay alive, they cannot say we don't exist.
And this is where it goes too. As long as you, like, even when they get their asses handed to them, they're like, as long as we just keep doing what we've been doing, we're gonna win. We're gonna get that guy because he was a big bad wolf and he deserved to have the death threats put out on him, and he deserved. Why? Because we're Satanists, and this is how they're the dumbest motherfuckers, dude.
Being a Satanist means rebelling against them,
right?
Because they're wrong.
That's what it's all. Being a Satanist is rebelling against them because they're wrong. This is the whole mentality behind witch cults and how witches think, and they all feed each other this delusion. They're constantly feeding each other this delusion. As long as we just keep being satanic witches, we're gonna win. Why? Because they're wrong. Like they have these perceived enemies that aren't even their enemies. They live in, and this is exactly how all this shit went down. Like, my ex is a complete dumb fuck and surrounded by all these other dumb fucks, and that's how they think, and the way they view everything is like, because they're wrong and we need to keep fighting and all that. It's all pure retardation to its most extreme. And that's what's so weird about witches. And then also that they get away with all this shit. Like, nobody can put a wrench in these dumb fuckers' system. Nobody can. Like, they're just walking around free after fucking committing arson and murder and death threats and all this shit. They just all walk around free. You know, like when I told you that fucking Sheila was acting guilty right in front of the cop, where she's like, yep, they found him out in the desert dead. Like, every single thing that she said, it was totally obvious she's guilty as fuck right in front of the cop. The cop does nothing. The cop, like it was so fucking obvious that this witch cult that I'm talking about did all of this shit. And the fucking cops were involved in sweeping it under the rug, dude. They did nothing. And it's like, the craziest thing is, these are the most pathetic, weakest fucking people on the fucking planet. So how are they able to get away with all this shit? How is it that it takes them getting caught in the act where they're cutting up their mom into pieces and baking the pieces of their mom in an oven before these dumb fucking cops catch on to it? It's like, the level of insanity in the reality that we exist is beyond the fucking pale. Okay? Like, that witch, that story about the witch who fucking killed her mom and chopped her up, that just happened in October of this year. If you look at that story, that chick is as stupid as this one right here. Look at, like, she was taking the pictures of herself wearing the Illuminati jacket and, like, acting like she's something so special and stuff, full of delusion, like the most lowest level IQ, full of delusion, thinking and believing that they're so attractive and they're so intelligent and they're so powerful. And it takes the fucking bitch killing and chopping up her mom before the cops are able to fucking get on the fucking scent, bro. And I'm telling you, that's how dumb we're dealing with, the level of stupidity that we're dealing with. And it's en masse. These people are en masse. I mean, that would be the only thing that would explain why the cops aren't doing nothing, is because these people are in such fucking high numbers. I mean, these are all the people in mainstream media. These dumb motherfuckers that you're looking at right now. Oprah Winfrey, P. Diddy, Justin Bieber. This is all that shit. And they're pumping this shit out like nobody's business. It's fucking Oprah Winfrey time. She only makes $10 a minute spewing fucking dumb fuck diarrhea all day. And everybody just goes along with this. Nobody is standing against this. And all it does is embolden these motherfuckers to where the next thing you know, they're going to be burning your fucking house down and putting death threats out on you and killing people and trying to frame you for it and trying to kill you. These motherfuckers, dude. And they're in mass. They're in fucking mass. And nobody is doing any fucking thing about it while these fucking retards are taking over everything, bro, and getting away with it. Everybody's afraid of them. They're afraid of these pathetic people. This is what you fear. This is what society fears. Talk about the man behind the curtain as depicted in the movie The Wizard of Oz. Remember The Wizard of Oz? The ruler of Oz was the man behind the curtain. And when he comes out of the curtain, what is it? It's some fat, stupid, low IQ, dumb fuck. Dude, I mean, this is what the reality that we're living in. This is how ridiculous everything has gotten. It's on the micro level. The whole fucking world is run by these dumb fucks, dude. And because it's happening on the macro level, where here's Klaus Schwab, doesn't that somehow resemble Klaus Schwab? I wonder why that would be. You know? And so not only is it happening on the global macro level with Klaus fucking slob fucking retards running everything, it's also happening on the micro in your neighborhoods, in your fucking own communities. These are the dumb fucks that are getting away with murder and arson and all this shit. And the cops are too fucking stupid to follow the fucking breadcrumbs. And as a result, this is what you get. These are the leaders of your fucking communities and your neighborhoods and your towns and your cities and your fucking states and your fucking countries. And nobody's doing nothing about it because they're so afraid of the man behind the fucking curtain. This is what people are afraid of. And I'm not even none of what I have said is hyperbole at all. This is what we're dealing with. This is who's getting away with all of this. And this is what everyone is allowing to fucking completely take over the fucking world. Klaus fucking Schwab, him fucking self, right here. Tell me that doesn't look like Klaus fucking Schwab, him fucking self. These are the pathetic pieces of shit that we have allowed to take over everything and just burn everything down and fucking get away with murder and get away with ruining innocent people's lives and walking free. Just no problem. And nobody's doing anything about it. And these stupid people are the ones ruining everything and causing all these fucking problems. And nobody's doing jack shit about any of it.